Right. So up to now we have discussed about the structure of the neuron, and now we will discuss about the classification of the neuron. We can classify neurons in multiple ways. Okay, let me clear this one. And of course there is synaptic. No. Okay, second thing is classification. Now listen very carefully, we classify the neuron in multiple ways. For your syllabus, the first classification is based on myelination. Classification is based on myelination, myelinogenesis we call it. Myelination means some of the neurons in nervous system and peripheral, central nervous system and peripheral nervous systems are wrapped by some kind of cells that produces the myelin sheath. Myelin sheath is lipid membrane that is surrounded or wrapped by the neurons and that insulate the neurons. And what is the function of myelination we will discuss later. First of all, neurons might be myelinated neurons or modulated. Myelinated neuron, and yes, what is non-myelinated unmodulated. Non-myelinated neurons. You should know, for this you should know the central nervous system, as well as in central nervous system you have your brain and spinal cord. Your brain, and this is brain and this is spinal cord, and the information or the nerves that carry the information towards the CNS and carry the information from away from the CNS, this blue is PNS. And of course, neurons are present over there, neurons are present over there. This is one thing. Listen, central nervous system consists of brain and spinal cord, and PNS consists of the nerves, the bundle or branches of the nerves, and all of them are made up of what? Neurons. Neurons are present over there, neurons are present over there. And I told you some neurons are classified that some neurons are myelinated and some neurons are non-myelinated. Myelinated neurons, that myelination, that has myelin sheath. That has myelin sheath. Actually, this is the beauty of the nature, that nature provides the neurons myelin sheath. Actually, if this is I am drawing the typical neuron. If this is a neuron and this is another neuron, listen. You know that neuron carries the information in the form of nerve impulse. If you touch it, just suppose this neuron is stimulated by this point, and this neuron is also stimulated by this point, and the information carries in the form of, yes, nerve impulse, electrical changes, electrical potential, and at the end this chemical release which stimulate next neuron, Somehow what nature provides, a cells, I am telling you the name of cells later, but just believe me, some cells comes and wrap over there at specific intervals and insulate the neuron, because this is lipid membrane, myelin sheath. Now, this neuron is which neuron? Non-myelinated, unmyelinated, or this is myelinated. What is the advantage of myelination? You can see, if this stimulated over there, this is action potential, electrical charges. You know, lipid is non-polar and insulate the neuron, and the current passes from conductor or insulator. Current passes from insulator or conductor? Conductor. Current passes from the conductor, insulator not. So this part is insulated and this nerve impulse jump over there and then jump over there and then jump over there. Which speed is enhanced? Which nerve impulse reaches faster at this point? This one. Actually this conduction is slow conduction and this conduction is fast due to the myelination. And also this kind of conduction is known as saltatory conduction or saltatory impulse, you call it. So these are the neurons. This is not myelinated by the cells or this is myelinated. And of course myelination are produced by what kind of cells? Glial cells. I am not telling you the glial cell, actually glial cells of the CNS. Now listen. Glial cells of the CNS, glial cells of the CNS and glial cells of the PNS are different. All the time they are different. I am telling you the glial cells. If these are astrocyte, these are microglia, microglial cells, and these are oligodendrons, and if these are the Schwann cells and satellite cells. A very good student does not need to be asked that, sir, from where the satellite cells are found. Actually, whenever we call it satellite, if someone knows, they know satellite cells is always found in PNS. Always found in PNS. These two cells are the part of PNS and these three cells are always resides in CNS. You cannot say that oligodendron of PNS or CNS. Not at all. Oligodendron is always found in CNS and Schwann cells are always found in PNS, and the same for then. Astrocytes mean the blood-brain barrier. Macroglial in CNS is phagocytic cells and satellite cells in PNS is also phagocytic cells. And Schwann cells and oligodendron has the same function. Now listen carefully. I am telling you initially that there is a neuron present in the CNS and neuron present in the PNS. And both of the neurons, some of the neurons must be myelinated and must be non-myelinated. It means some of the cells myelinated the neurons inside the CNS and some of the cells myelinated the neurons inside the PNS. What is the difference? If neuron is present in PNS and if neuron is present in CNS, if this is myelinated over there and this is myelinated over there, most of the students knows that myelination is produced by Schwann cells. Schwann cells. Schwann cells myelinated the neurons. This is true, but not all the neurons. Why? Because Schwann cell is found in. So what about the CNS? Because Schwann cells cannot migrate in the CNS. So inside the CNS, who produces the myelination? Oligodendrons. Isn't it? So up to now, you just consider about the myelination, myelinogenesis. The process of myelinating the neurons is known as myelinogenesis, and this is done by the oligodendrons in the CNS and Schwann cells in the PNS. And what is the advantage of the myelination? The advantage of the myelination is to just fasting the conduction of the nerve impulse, because some of the information we carry is the very fast. Okay, with this I should consider about the size of the neuron. What should be the size of the neuron? Yes, anything. It is about 5 micron to the even 150 micrometer. And that if the length is concerned, so the length might be possible in millimeter, centimeter or meter. You think that neuron must be in meter? Yes. Do you think neuron could be in meters? हो सकता है? हो सकता है. Yes. Some of the neurons are in meters, isn't it? So next of the classification we will discuss later. Right now, up to now we have discussed one classification on myelination base, non-myelinated and myelinated.